Hey everyone! Hope everybody is having a fantastic evening. Happy Tuesday. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up so I know audio is good and everybody can hear me. And if you can hear me, Kathy left a message from earlier. Her aunt passed away. Oh, thank you, Lisa. So give her a heart emoji or a prayer emoji. So, Kathy, if you're watching this even on the replay, I am so sorry for your loss and sending you lots of prayers. Oh, hi, Melody. Yes, I can talk about CPM and RPM tonight. I am so sorry. I don't know, I completely forgot. Hey, UDM, how are you? I completely forgot to circle back around to RPM and CPM. Believe me, I am not an expert at it at all. So I will try to dive into it a little bit for you today with the knowledge that I have. So yes, we will go into that for you tonight. Okay, so before we get started, hey, we are Taurus. How are you? I'm just going to say a quick hi to everybody, and we're going to get started. So I don't think Kathy's here, but hi, Kathy. Hi, Melody. Hi, Ride Cheer Lisa, my girl, Ride Cheer Lisa. Thank you so much for being such a supporter of my channel for so long, my friend. Oh, hey, Matt. How are you? Hi, UDM. I'm actually going to talk about you in a little while, so thank you for being here. It'll be a good segue. Hi, Kevin. Thank you so much for all of your comments. I really, really appreciate it. You are always so super supportive, so thank you so much. Hey, PJ, how are you, my friend PJ? Welcome. Hi, Anthony, how are you? Hi, Christian. Oh, hey, Thomas. So those of you who have Thomas has been with me since I think my 10th subscriber, so I always appreciate you always being here. You've been with me since the beginning, so whenever I see your name I'm like, oh, Thomas is here, so thank you so very much. Okay, so before we get started, if you haven't done it already, take a moment, go give this a thumbs up. Also, if you are new to my channel and are just watching this for the first time, also hit that subscribe button right next to the thumbs up button as well. Hey, Kimberly, how are you? Thank you for coming. So we'll take a minute and then we'll get started. Okay, so welcome everybody. Happy Tuesday. I always get so excited to be here with you guys on Tuesdays. I actually look forward. Oh, Lisa, you got your tree up. That's awesome. I love Christmas, I'm telling you. But I have to admit, I have to say, I, I feel like I'm so ahead of time sometimes when it comes to Christmas, and then somehow it gets lost in translation. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I only have 2 more weeks left until Christmas. Like I still have, I'll say 80% of my shopping done, but I still have a couple straggler presents I still need to get. And I feel like I'm having a little anxiety, like I have to get Christmas shopping done. So send me pictures, Lisa. I would love to see your Christmas tree. I I love Christmas. I know you guys can tell by my videos. Hey, Right Your Rodeo, how are you? Um, that I just love Christmas music. I love everything about Christmas. I feel like it just puts me in I don't know whether you can believe it, but in a very calming effect. But at the same time, I'm so excited. So I know you can't actually see it, but right there, if you can see it, there's my daughter's Elf on the Shelf for today. So she was hanging out in the Christmas tree. So Bingo is her name. She made an appearance this past week, so that's very exciting in my household this week. So anyway, so thank you guys so much for coming tonight and being with us, get into, sweating the small stuff, during from beginning to end of our daily means. But if you guys haven't, checked it out, I this past week I did a collaboration with UDM, and I'm so incredibly humbled and grateful, and I'm so super excited. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out today after this video or after this live. We're going to be together every Monday, so I'm just really excited to be a part of it and be his co-host. So thank you, UDM, for being here today and also for the opportunity. I'm just really excited to, get started, and Mondays are going to be a lot of fun. So if you guys haven't done it, go check it out. And thank you everybody who was there for the live stream yesterday. So I had a lot of fun. So okay, so let's get into it. So hey, hi Michelle, how are you? Another one of my people who have been with me for a really, really long time. So thank you for always being so super supportive. So going into the topic today. So I know me, and I'll be the first one. Kevin, you're gonna try two phones? I don't know. I'm telling you, UDM, I'm still particular about the one phone, but I will say I understand the importance of two phones now. You gave me a really good mindset on what two phones can do. I don't know, maybe one day I will. So I will say this, like when I'm delivering, even from the beginning to the end, like there are so many like little things that I feel like we forget about as delivery drivers that make it a little stressful. Hey Josh, how are you? A little stressful. And it's really, I know me, like I can be absent minded sometimes. Well, a lot of times I'll make fun of my own self, but I really sometimes can be absent minded and forget some of like the really small things that can make our lives that much easier. So when I think about the small things, so I'm even thinking about things before I even like walk out the door or even get to my car. So, for me, I can't tell you how many times like I've gone through like the DoorDash screen, the Uber screen, the Grubhub screen. I'm all good. I get my first order and I look down at the gas gauge and go, oh, freak. I forgot to get gas. And then, of course, I'm like, okay, well, I can make it a couple deliveries and I really have to stop for gas. But I've now learned that I try being the key word if I remember, I really try to get gas before I end each one of my days, so I'm really prepared to go, especially coming into the winter. There's nothing worse than getting into your car, and especially during the winter. And I know me, I like to warm up my car so I get into a nice warm car, but there's nothing better than to go in there and go, okay, I have gas, I'm good. So that's one aspect of it. The other day, I know it's something so simple but stupid at the same time. So no worries, Jim. It was something so simple, but like in the middle of my day, the charger for my phone went like kaput. It wasn't charging. It wasn't doing anything. And as we know, like this cord is like my lifeline. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like my phone is at like 25%. So I'm like, I have to do something. So I quickly pulled into Quick Check and got a cord. But I'm thinking to myself, if I would have had an extra cord in the car, or even like a power pack, because I'm like, well, all that stuff is at home, but it's not going to do me any good right now. But it was something that, like, I'm like, it's something so simple and that's why I think I sparked this conversation, because I'm like, something so simple that I'm forgetting that might actually help you guys, and it might be something that we might actually not really think about. It's the winter time. I know some of you guys are commenting that it's snowing in your area. I know, Lisa, you said you were starting to get snow already. I think, Michelle, you also said that you were getting snow in Michigan. So I know a couple of you guys are saying you're going to get snow. They were calling for snow here tomorrow, but then they canceled it, thank God. So we might get flakes here or there. But my thing is I like to have an extra pair of gloves in my car too, or even wear gloves. But I like to have those gloves with the touchscreen because there's nothing worse than like having your phone and like you're trying to like get into your phone and you can't because your gloves, you have to take your gloves off and it becomes like a really big problem. So I like to have an extra pair of gloves. If you haven't noticed the theme, I like to be warm. I hate being cold in the winter. If you can give me summer, like I'm such a beach shore girl, I guess because of the area I live in, but man, you can give me summer all day long. I would be, hey, Robin Granny, how are you? I would be so super excited, but that's not the case. But I still like my all four seasons. Like I love my I love my fall and I won't say I love winter. I won't say that. But anyway, so as you can see, gloves are, hey AH, how are you? Gloves are so super important to me because I like to stay warm. So with that being said, I also keep an extra hat in my, Josh, you don't even own a winter jacket and you live in PA? Brr. I I don't know how you do it, my friend. I would be freezing. I'm telling you, UDM, like I keep saying, like when I grow up, I'm gonna move to Florida. I love Disney World so much, and my husband and I talk about moving to Florida all the time, just because we love Disney so much. So maybe one day you'll see me moving to Florida at some point. But man, I wish I can be with you in Florida. But I don't know. The summers though get sometimes too hot down in Florida. I don't know how sometimes you take that heat down there. But I have to tell you, so I always carry an extra beanie in my car. But I found this today and I'm so super excited because I ordered it and I would probably look like a dork wearing this, but I don't care, throw fashion out the window as we're delivering. Like I found a beanie hat that actually has a light in the actual beanie hat that you just like plug in and you charge and then you take it with you and like it's a flashlight on your beanie. I'm so super excited about it. And oh, so I ordered that today. So I'm really hoping that it's gonna help with deliveries a little bit. So that's actually, I'm really, really excited about that. Sorry, I'm just taking a drink real quick. Okay. Okay, so some of you are going to try two phones. It would be interesting to see like the comparison of, two phones versus one phone. It's kind of see what the results are. People are going to try two phones after, the live just to kind of see what everybody's thoughts are on two phones versus one phone. You might have converted a couple people, UDM. Right, Tree Rodeo. My son and I put up the tree, but wanted a festivus pole this year too. Oh, interesting. I would love if you guys want to send me, by the way, pictures of your Christmas trees or even like your house is decorated. Like send them to my email or even Instagram. I would love to see some of your pictures. Yes, I am drinking Dr. Pepper. So those of you who are new, like I don't drink coffee. I've never been a coffee drinker, but I do like my source of caffeine is usually Dr. Pepper is my favorite. So you'll probably always see me drinking a Dr. Pepper. Okay, maybe. I'll say maybe. I will let you know, UDM, the second I try two phones. I might have to just try it just to say, "Hey, I tried it," and compare the two. So I might, you might convert me yet. But yeah, so going back, so Dr. Pepper is like the choice of drink for me. My second choice is Coke. So whenever you see me driving, I I always usually have a Coke or a Dr. Pepper with me no matter what. Maybe that's where my Energizer Bunny energy comes from. Maybe I drink too much of it. I don't know. That's to be determined. I don't know. To be determined at a later date when like my stomach probably goes kaput at some point. But this is my thing. So people have vices in life. Like some people smoke, some people drink. Like I really don't have any vices. Yeah, I'll have a glass of wine like once a week on my day off. But so does like my one vice in life. Hey, Gig Lebowski, how are you? So hey, let me have my one thing. That's the only thing I can say. Let me have my one thing. Right, sure, Lisa. I remember when I first started, I multi-apped with two phones, one with Uber and the other one on Lyft. Oh, interesting. Very, very interesting. Kevin, I hate it when I have the DoorDash screen up and they send me an Uber Eats offers and there's no maps. First of all, I hate it when you can't see the map, period, because I feel like you can't make like a really good informed decision. Like one of my worst things, and I'll probably decline orders when this happens. Like I hate it when you're on an Uber Eats, even a stacked order, or even like a regular single order, and then they send you like a stacked order. Like I hate it that you can't see because they don't show you both restaurants. Like I hate it when you can't see like the two drop offs and the two restaurants. Are you going to the same restaurant? Are you going to two separate restaurants? But you can't see it because it's not on the screen because you're on another order. Like it literally drives me crazy. So most unless it's like a ridiculous like price, like I'm never gonna probably turn down an order over $20. So I'm like, I'll suck it up. Like suck it up, buttercup. I'll suck it up because it's over $20. But most likely, like I'll almost always decline that just because, like I need to know where I'm going, and without having a map, like I feel like you're going blind into a restaurant, and we all know we have those restaurants that are on our bed list and some restaurants on our good list. Like the one that they give you might be on your good list, the second one might be on your bad list, and you have absolutely no idea. And then you look at the screen and go, oh, I totally should have not taken that. And then you end up canceling the order because you don't want to go to the restaurant, and it becomes a whole huge to do. That's the only thing I'm saying. Rapping Granny used the airplane tip today. Worked like a charm. Interesting. I still need to try that too. It was a really good tip, UDM. I will have to try that actually. Because it's funny you say that. Like yesterday, after we did that, I got an order and I got a call from a customer and said, "Hi, I see you're going, this way, and you should be going this way." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm on another delivery right now." And I'm like, "Darn it, the airplane mode would probably come into effect right now." Look at the points on GPS before accepting. Good point. Good idea. Right, cheer, Lisa. Kim, did you ever talk to your hubby about working 24 hours? Briefly. We're still working on it. It's a work in progress. We'll say. Maybe, I'm going to say this, maybe, maybe when the weather gets nicer, like I would hate for me to do a 24-hour challenge and then all of a sudden, like there's like this big, huge winter snowstorm and I'm like stuck in a snowstorm because it's winter out. Not only that, but I really don't feel like doing it in the freaking cold. So maybe springtime I can warm him up to the idea of me being out. Because after we got off last week's live, I was like kind of thinking like strategy wise, because I know you have to have a strategy behind it just because, Grubhub, you can only work from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. and then Uber Eats, you can only do like 12 hours, and I know you're going to have to be really strategic on when you kind of work those hours. So I was actually already thinking ahead of time and like, okay, my strategy. So I was already thinking a strategy behind it that could work. So I kind of already, I know, right, UDM, 24 hours? I don't know. I, I don't know whether my old self can do 24 hours. I used to, like when in my previous life with retail, we would actually do overnights. And Lisa, I think about you all the time, just because I think of you when I think of my life as a retail manager. We would do overnights on in my 20s and 30s. I'm like, yeah, let's do an overnight. It's fun, and you do setups and you do Christmas setups and everything's good. And now I'm like in my 40s and I'm like, oh, I don't know whether I can do 20. Can I stay up that long? Like right now, I can barely stay up until like 11, 12 o'clock. But no, all jokes aside, I stay up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning every single night editing. So, what are we talking? Like 4 or 5 more hours of staying up? I don't know. I don't, I don't know. I don't know. But maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But I think it'll be more towards the springtime when I do it. Like I know Nugs did it. I know Chad do it. I know there was other content creators who have already done it. I'm just kind of curious. Hey, Mr. Flex, how are you? I'm just curious what my area would be like. And I know, Kevin, you talk about like Wawa all the time. I don't, in the middle of the hours, but I guess that's when would Uber Eats come into play, but then you can only do 12 hours on Uber Eats. Like, what does that look like? I don't know. I have to figure out my strategy before I even do that. I don't know. I don't know if I have the energy. But anyway, yes, Lisa, if I do it, I will let you know and we will do a collab and we can do it together. But can we do it in my area? That's the only thing I'm going to ask. Can we do it in my area? Yeah, you're like a super pro at going to other areas. I'm not so good at that. You're better at that than I am. Can we do it in my area? But I would really honestly be curious on what my area would be like. I mean, on a normal day, you guys obviously know what I make on a normal day. So what would 24 hours actually look like? I guess it would be sky's the limit at that point, but I don't know. Would I fall asleep? I don't know. So much to think about. Josh said setups. Oh, I haven't heard that line in years. I worked at Walmart and Kmart. Yeah. Big. I worked for big box retail for like years. So setups for us used to start in like the end of September, beginning of October, and we would literally do like a week or two of overnights just to get the Christmas set up, because there's so much tedious stuff in setting up Christmas. And anytime we would have a major overhaul of the floor, like everything would be an overnight, because you can't do that work when customers are milling around. Because I feel like when you were doing it, the messier you were, the more customers flocked to you and got in your way of doing setups. But yeah. Mr. Flex, you can raid my live show anytime. You're always welcome. Because I raid yours, I feel like almost every morning. So you're more than welcome to raid mine anytime. What is fast food like in your market? It's actually really halfway decent. Actually, you're just around like even like home base. Like I have a McDonald's, I have a Wendy's, I have a Wawa, I have a Quick Check. You know, probably about Burger King. Probably about 3 miles away. I have maybe even four. I have a Taco Bell. I have a White Castle. I'm trying to think of anything else that would be good in the middle of the night, but Popeyes. But I know Popeyes closes like 11, 12ish. But Popeyes, they go back and forth with me on my no list. I do have Chick-fil-A, but it's in a mall, and as we all know, Chick-fil-A is on my definite no list. As I tried it this week, can you guys believe I tried Chick-fil-A this week? If you haven't checked it out, I am so proud of myself. I haven't been in my Chick-fil-A in a year and a half. That's how long it's been since I've been in my Chick-fil-A. So the reason why, and I get this asked all the time. So the reason I do Chick-fil-A is a year ago, and this is before this is before I even malls even opened. They had tents outside, and most malls did this. Like they had tents outside, and they would take the food from their kitchens and like bring it outside, and literally, like fist fights were breaking out on the sidewalk in front of like Chick Fil-A because I got my order, you got your order first. Like it was like a nightmare. So like I stayed away for a really long time. And then the mall opened back up. And like, okay, so the mall's open back up. This will be easy, easy peasy. Matt, were you there Friday and Saturday? Oh, you do Chick-fil-A? I hate our Chick-fil-A. So Matt's in my area, so he gets it. So I went after the mall opened and it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock. So it was like prime time, busy time. They were so freaking disorganized and orders were all over the place. Like I'm like, I can't do this. I need to get out. I actually ended up canceling the order. I waited like 15 minutes and my order still wasn't coming out. I'm like, I'm out. So I tried it again this week. I was super proud of myself. Went into the mall. That's another thing. Like you have to like park and then walk into the mall and then go to Chick-fil-A. Like I like to stay in my cozy car as long as I possibly can. But I did it. Proud of myself, even though the restaurant person had completely ignored me when I said I was there for an order. He just kept mopping. Anyway, Chick-fil-A, gotta love Chick-fil-A. But yeah, so if you guys are wondering what my Chick-fil-A explanation is, that is my Chick-fil-A. But I do have a lot of fast food around my order. Sorry, I was like reading the screen at the same time, like, huh? So you probably just saw me like with my mouth like wide open trying to read the screen. That was actually probably kind of funny. Um, Ashby, the best Wawa it delivered to was in Virginia. Food was always ready. The Wawa being by me is always ready. There is one that's always ready, and there's one that's usually ready. But if you go after, I want to say it's like 9 o'clock at night, like they go down to like one cashier, and it's always constantly busy. And that one cashier is in charge of doing the orders, and oh, you can be standing there for a while because, of course, they want to take care of the customers that are in front of them. So no one actually fills the order. There was one time, like 2 weeks ago, that I went there, and the lady's like, "I, I can't help you. I can't leave the register. Can you fill it yourself?" And I felt so bad for her, so I went and filled my own order, but it was a little on the annoying side. I have to say, it was a little on the annoying side. But yeah, usually after like 9 o'clock, like their staffing levels just like plummet, and it becomes a little bit more trickier in my area. PJ, I've only done one Popeyes order, wasn't too bad, and it paid me to drive back home. You gotta love those orders that pay you to come back home. I swear, like those are like the best orders, especially if you can get it like your last order of the night. Like I love that. Like there's nothing better than like I think I was last week. It was my last order of the night, and it actually went to the next street over from me. So I'm like, yes, score! Get to drive like 10 feet, and I'm home. But they're like the best orders to have. Oh, Josh B. Popeyes lately, it's been on my ban list, but I'll give them a second chance one day. So they were on my ban list before. I mean, they're still a little on the rude side. So I stopped going to Popeyes because they were not nice to drivers at all. Oh yeah, Clucky Chicken is open till 3 a.m. That's another one. And then also JR's is I don't know whether anybody else has a JR's by them. JR's on Fridays and Saturdays I think is open till like 1 or 2 a.m. as well. But anyway, so Popeyes for me was on my absolute no list. Like they literally, first of all, you have to go into their dining, which is not that big of a deal. I would rather do that than drive through anyway because it could be quicker. But Oh, they treated drivers like literally dirt. And they were so mean and so rude, and that for a while, they oh, bye, UDM, thank you for coming. They were so rude. Ugh, that's the only thing I could say. For a while, when they first got DoorDash on their platform, I don't know whether any of you guys found this, but they were having drivers sign their, like, name and telephone number because they didn't trust that the driver was there to pick up their order. I don't know, the whole thing was just very strange, and I'm like, I'm cutting Popeyes out, and I just started trying them maybe about 2 months ago, and they seem to be better and seem to be okay. So every once in a while, if I get like a really good order, I'll do a Popeyes order here or there. I know, yeah. Popeyes chicken, Thomas, is I love Popeyes chicken. I love eating there, not so much delivering from there, but I do love eating there. I will admit, like, I think I've done DoorDash to my house from Popeyes. So I make someone else go to Popeyes for me. So I will admit I have done that as well. That's actually kind of funny. Oh, bye, Mr. Flex. Ooh, go get that stacked order. That's an awesome that's an awesome stacked order. Go get your money. Mm, yeah. Yeah, Kevin, you keep saying like Wawa is your like I feel like it's your cash cow. It keeps like just spitting out money for you. Thomas, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. You say you and UDM make such a good energy together. Thank you so much. I really look forward to Mondays. So I hope everybody can join us on Mondays because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, you're going to get a lot of information. Yesterday, we talked about multi-apping with one phone versus two phones. I am a one phone girl. UDM is a two phone man. So it's really interesting to see two different perspectives. Hey, Sandra's Got Game. How are you? It's really interesting to see two different perspectives and how different people multi-app. So it was honestly very informative, and I got a lot of information out of it and a lot of knowledge out of it. So yeah, it was a good time. Thomas Mathis, I'm getting tons of catering orders now during Christmas. Oh, freaking! Don't get me started on catering orders. Do I even go into that? Do you guys even want to hear about that? Oh man, freaking catering, freaking Panera. That's the only thing I can say. Like I was just so upset that I didn't like actually. I had my phone with me, but like I didn't have my GoPro with me. Like I wish I would have like literally videoed it from start to finish. How's the Cowgirls finally won? um, from start to finish. By the way, if anybody doesn't know, I'm a Cowboys fan. Um, so anyway, oh, only thing I can tell you is I would have slapped that person a $5 tip. That is actually really funny. Oh, Thomas, like you're a Cowboys fan too, so I know that too. So yay, go Cowboys. Um, so so it's one thing to get one order in the morning. Like I sucked up. Hey, the voice with you. How are you? I sucked it up, and I wasn't happy about it. But it was $100 catering order. The difference between that one and the one that I did in the morning the morning one was $100. It was ready for me as soon as I walked in the door and it was ready to go. I wasn't happy that the lady, you're a Niners fan, PJ. Um, I wasn't happy that it was a hand it to me customer. And how do you order a catering order? That's the only thing I'm going to say, and not be available to hand it to you. And it's in an office building and the doors are locked. Like I can't even walk into the office building and go like door to door. Like there was nothing I can do. The doors were locked. Called the customer, texted the customer, called the customer again. Like, the only thing I kept thinking was, like, how do you order $100 worth of food and not be available to take it? Like, it just baffles people sometimes just baffle my brain. But anyway, I started the timer and the timer went down and I left it right outside the office building. I didn't get any complaints, so I'm assuming she got it. Ugh. So that was that order. And then what? No, it's like a freaking $5 tip. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? All that work, all that aggravation for $5, whatever. Chucked it up, moved it on. We all get $100 orders at some point. So go into Panera a second time, and I will be up. So let me preface this. So let me preface this. So I didn't start my nighttime shift. I literally was sitting at home doing nothing, and I'm like, yeah, let me go take an order just to see what's out there. And it was Panera, and Panera from me is like literally really somewhat close to my house. I'm like, and it was a decent order. I think it was $8. I think it was like $8. What did I say? It was $8.25. I think it was. So I'm like, $8.25, easy peasy, and half of it, we'll say 2 miles of it, was getting to Panera. So, lo and behold, so I get to Panera, and stupid me. And normally I'm really good at this, but I think because it was so last minute and I wasn't really thinking about it, I just went into the restaurant. And I go into the restaurant, and like, ever go into a Panera is really good for this, but other restaurants where people are like running around in like circles, but like nothing is getting done. Customers were getting frustrated. People were waiting, were getting frustrated. And my order was like nowhere to be found. So found an associate who I gave a candy cane to earlier in the day. And I said, hey, I'm here for, I forgot what the customer's name was, here for so-and-so's order. He's like, okay, let me check. Never comes back. Completely forgets about me. So I finally find the manager. I gave a candy cane to him too early in the day, by the way. So I said, hey, I'm here for so-and-so's order. Can you help me out? I don't see it anywhere. Yeah, let me go check on it. Never comes back. So this is now, I'm like 10 minutes into the order. I'm like, I just need someone to help me. So I go to the lady who's actually like making the food at the counter, and she seemed like she was the person who was in charge of making the food. So I asked her, I said, I'm looking for this order and no one seems to be able to help me out. Can you help me? Can you help me with this order? So she goes, I don't have it on my screen. Are you sure it's for this Panera? I'm like, yeah, it's this Panera. She goes, hold on. And she calls over her manager and she goes, oh, that's a catering order. And she goes to the manager, you made it, right? And the manager goes, no, I thought you made it. And they both looked at each other, and they both thought each other made it, and no one made it. So of course I looked at the subtotal at this point, and it's like a $280 catering order. So normally as a driver, you're thinking for catering order. Granted, I learned from a mistake early in the day, so I wasn't honestly expecting that much. I kind of, I'll say for video purposes and also for myself, so I can tell you guys what to expect. It was me. I'm the one completely who stayed through the entire thing, and I completely own it. And if it was any other time, I would have gotten rid of that order in like 10-15 minutes. Done. But I really wanted order just because I had the experience in the morning. I wanted to see if the same thing was going to happen to this order as well. Because if it happened in the morning, what are the chances of it happening again in the afternoon? And then I really have something to talk about and something to base it on. So literally 20 minutes, no order. I'm like, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go. And the manager's like, I'm making it. And I felt bad. Like, the manager was like literally the only person making it. He finally got everybody on the order finally, and then it was being made. So like now the order is done, and it's an hour of me being in Panera. Finally get the order. So I'm like, yes. And in between this, I am literally conversating with the customer. There's no texting, it's only a call. So I'm calling him, not texting him. And he's really grateful that I did it, and really nice guy. So get the order, tell him I'm on my way. Super happy he's finally getting his order. So I'm driving, and I get to, it's a very well known company around my area. And I'll be honest, like, I'm thinking, okay, it's a really well known company. I've delivered here before. Everybody tips really well coming from this company. And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe that's not going to be the case. So I go to the guy. He's nice. I actually help him bring it in. It's literally 4 bags, I think like 3 boxes, like back and forth. And lo and behold, I freaking get a $5 tip. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Again? Like, and I never like to jump to conclusions. That's totally not me. But when you get a $5 order from the morning and you turn around in the afternoon and you get another $5 order in the afternoon, like, come on, guys. Something's happening with Panera. And I know you guys talk about this all the time. And that's why I thought it was so important to bring this up and to talk to you guys about it, because I want everybody to go into Panera and other orders that actually come from company's website and look at your subtotals, because that was my mistake. I didn't look at the subtotal before I go in, but something's happening. I don't know where the disconnect is happening. I don't know whether it's happening in their own locations. I don't know whether it's happening in their corporate offices. I don't know whether it's happening on the DoorDash end. It's happening somewhere, and I'll say it's not right. Like, it, just because like DoorDash like advertises everywhere, you get 100% of your tips, you get 100% of your tips, and then you get $5 on a $280 catering order. Like, there's no way that that company tipped only $5 to the driver. That's the only thing I'm saying. So anyway, that was my Panera debacle. So if you, yeah, it does smell fishy, fishy. I'm telling you. So if you can learn anything from me, go with your eyes open to catering orders. We're going to be getting a lot of catering orders this coming holiday season. Look at your subtotals. Please look at your subtotals and just beware. Like, don't waste your time if there are long orders. Like, just I think our mindset as drivers are always like, okay, on the small side I should get 10%, so it's $280, I should get $28 as a tip. Like, that's a really good tip, I'm gonna take it. And don't do what I do and like wait out in like an hour for an order and then get a $5 tip, because you're gonna be very, very disappointed and really angry and really mad. And only thing I'm saying is just look at your subtotals before you go in. For me, it's Panera. I know a couple of you guys said like Bubba Coos, Carrabba's, like I think somebody said Boston Market in the notes, in some of the comments. So there is a lot of companies that are using DoorDash as a third party delivery. And like I said, there's a disconnect happening. I don't know where it's happening, but it definitely is happening. Thomas, you are absolutely right. We should get 20% at least. Like, it's a lot. Like, I did a catering order, and this is where this really originated for me and really happening a lot. Is it happened to about, I'm trying to think, 2 months ago. I got a catering order too, and it was to a doctor's office. It was Panera. And I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be really good. It's a doctor's office. Doctors tip really, really well. And it ended up being like 4 bags. I think it was like 2 boxes. Unfortunately, this doctor's office, they had no elevator, which is weird for a doctor's office, because you would think because they need to be handicap accessible, unless I missed it somewhere. Anyway, 3 flights of stairs. I had to go up and down 3 flights of stairs 3 times. On top of that, they had one of their bags had all their drinks, like their gallon teas, in one of the. So like I'm like lugging, lugging up like 3 flights of stairs these gallons of iced teas, and I get a $10 tip, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And like at first, like I was cursing out the doctor's office because I'm like, how are you a doctor? You tip your delivery driver, and it was like a $300 order, like a $10 tip. But then like I started wising up, and I'm like, it's not the doctor's office. Like something's going on. That's the only thing I'm saying. So I don't know whether DoorDash listens to any of this. So if they do, DoorDash, something's going on and something needs to be done. That's the only thing I'm saying. Yes, restaurants. I really do believe they do keep tips. Just saying. Mm. Yes, Thomas, I agree. Tipping is all over the place. It's all over the place lately. And I feel like it's more so with the holidays coming up. Like, I feel like some people are like super generous when it comes to tipping, and like some others are just like not not so good. There's like no tips. Well, I think it was like a week ago. I got like a 50 cent tip. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Why even? I hate to say, I would almost rather you give me a no tip than a 50 cent tip. Like, what's the point of a what's the point of a 50 cent tip? I'm just saying. I don't know. I sometimes don't get people. PJ, it's the ultimate slap in the face. Sorry that happened. Yeah, I completely. It, it's it's It is. It really is a slap in the face to a lot of drivers. It's offensive. Like I find it I find it highly offensive. Like I feel like our time is so much more valuable than $5 freaking. Like to me, I feel like either DoorDash or the company or whoever. And this is what I didn't say in my video, and I wish I did. And I completely thought about this like after I did the video. This is my thing. So these restaurants, Panera, other Bubba Coos, Boston Market, like all these other stores, their managers and their employees already make an hourly wage of whatever. Say on the low side, it's $10 an hour, even though a lot of places now are offering like 14 to like $17 an hour. So they're making a pretty decent hourly wage. So you're taking money away from a driver who is getting a $2.75, or depending on your area, 2.50, whatever your base pay is. You're taking money away from the person who is delivering the food, who is getting a $2.75 base pay, to give it to somebody who's making $10 to $17 an hour. Like, to me, it makes absolutely no sense, and it drives me crazy when something just doesn't make sense. And to me, it just doesn't make sense. And to me, that's like the bigger piece. Like, you're paying someone money on top of money they're already making. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Josh B, I find doctors' offices and hospitals are cheap tippers. Interesting. Okay. DoorDash Revolution, I have to say hi, by the way. I really enjoyed your video that you recently put out. I really enjoyed it. So thank you for putting out that content. It really gets you thinking. And he did a video on, tipping as well. So, hats off to you, my friend, for putting out a good video today. Josh B, only once have I delivered to a doctor's office. Got a huge tip. Interesting. Thomas, why would someone lowball? Nice, Kim. Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment, but I'm pretty sure they go into blindly and not knowing who the person is who comes to pick it up. But all I gotta say is, what goes around comes around. That's the only thing I can say. Like, I believe in karma. Whoever the karma is coming to. I don't know who it is, but I'm just saying. So anyway, going back. So sweating the small stuff. I don't think that's like so small. I think that's a big sweating the small stuff. That's a big sweat. That was a big sweat for me this week. But anyway, into deliveries, as far as looking at the smaller stuff. As far I know, I talked about before we even get started, but also I really feel like sometimes like the small things help us, like delivery wise. Like, and I just talked about it. I talked about a lot about this with the Panera thing. Guys, look at your subtotals before you go in, because it really helps me understand what orders are big, small. Is it going to be one bag? Is it going to be two bags? Is it going to be three bags? You know what to kind of expect when you're walking into a restaurant catering order. Always look at your subtotals. I also always look at my orders in general, just so I know. I've just gotten into a habit. Someone commented, I forget, I apologize if you're here and I forgot who made the comment a couple of days ago. They asked me if I had any tips of remembering if the if the drinks are in your order, and there is no, I'll be honest, there are no tips. I have just put it as far as a routine that before I even enter into a restaurant, I look at the order so I know what to expect. But that's just, if I'm going into Five Guys, I look to see if there's milkshakes. If I go, you name it. Wendy's is famous or infamous. I got infamous. Is that famous? Infamous, whatever you want to call it. For always missing drinks. So whenever I go into a Wendy's line, I always look to see if there's any drinks in the combos. But that's like my own advice. Grubhub is the best at alerting you whether there's drinks in the order because they put it in like red print. This order contains drinks, so you know that there's orders. But pay attention to the details because they go, "Hey, Kathy, I am so sorry for the loss of your aunt, but thank you so much for joining me. So much prayers to you and your family in your difficult time." Um, but I always look at orders. Another thing that I do that I think is really helpful, not everybody does it, but I always make sure straws are in the bag. I always give them extra ketchup packets. I always, make sure that they have extra napkins. I always try to kind of do like that beyond step for my customers because I know from me getting deliveries, like it would have been nice to have ketchup packets that no one thought about doing in my bag. So I really try to do like those little extra steps as far as before I even like leave the restaurant. But um, I wish there was an easier way of saying that, but there really is no tips except unfortunately remembering it. And I know we all we all are forgetful sometimes, including myself. We all make mistakes, and that's the only thing I can say. But the key is to remembering that is if I can give you one advice, always look at your order before you go into a restaurant. And that really is. Oh, thanks, Sean. I am really excited to start my Mondays with UDM. So thank you. Thank you if anybody else watched it. So thank you so much for supporting us. I really appreciate it. Um, and then last thing is, I think I already talked about it, but catering orders, catering orders, catering orders. That's the only thing. It's the only thing I can say. Look at your subtotals. I feel like I keep saying the same thing, but I just, whenever I see something that important, like I really want to drill it into a lot of people just because I made the mistake of not looking at the subtotal and I don't want you guys to like go into anything blind and not and not learn from it. So Thomas the Hustler with the Hustler. That is like literally the ultimate compliment. And I told UDM this, yesterday, like to me, he is like the ultimate hustler. So thank you. Thank you for the compliment because I really truly take that as a compliment because the way I look at it is I'm just an ordinary mom girl going out there and taking you guys along with me every single day and I just show you what's going on in my world. So thank you for coming along with me for the journey every single day that I'm out there. Josh B, I will never go to Wendy's. Received an open OJ bottle once and didn't notice it until I got to the customer's house. I ran a Wawa quick. Oh, that is so nice of you. Most people wouldn't do that. No, hey Christian, how are you? Most people would not have done that. So kudos to you, friend, for going that extra mile to really help out that customer. That is really super nice of you. But yeah, Wendy's in my area is notorious for forgetting drinks. Oh, there was one time I was delivering to a couple in an apartment complexes and they were lived in an apartment complex and I found them and it was a little difficult to find them and I finally found them and they were waiting for me and I gave them their drinks. Hey Paul, how are you? And the guy goes, you remembered my drinks. I think you're the first person to ever remember a drink from Wendy's. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I am so sorry. So I'm sorry on behalf of your other drivers, but here are your drinks. And I handed them the drinks. But yeah, I've learned from the hard way. Wendy's is like one of the worst fast food restaurants to do that with. So just FYI. Mushigo Michelle, I have one restaurant that I get my silverware straws and stuff from them. but I definitely check for that stuff, even extra straws in my car in case. Yeah, if that's one advice that's really good advice, Michelle. If that is one thing I always keep in my car, I always keep extra napkins and straws in my car because especially now with freaking New Jersey and the stupid straw law, like really our legislation couldn't come up with a better law than straws. Like to me, like there are so many, and yes, it is. Before I get criticized for this, it is so super important to save our planet, and it is so super important to recycle. And I believe in that, and I really believe in saving the planet and being earth friendly. But when you think of all the stuff that's going on in our state and in the world and the pandemic, really, straws. That's the law we passed. We passed the law on not distributing straws unless you ask for them. I got nothing for you on that end. So now we have to ask for straws. So anytime I see now a restaurant that actually has straws out, I hate to say it, I take like a whole handful of them and put them in my car because as a delivery driver, you assume that it's in your bag, but now you have to ask for straws. It's a very difficult thing to remember. I'm just saying. So I always have straws in my car too. PJ, the Hustler Revolution. That's actually really cool. That's actually a really cool title. Sean Tuber, stay away from Mart shopping through DoorDash. Okay. Thanks for the advice. Monique, yes, I loved you in UDM this Monday morning. I didn't know about your videos till then, so now I can watch. Oh, well, welcome and welcome to the community. I am so excited that you're joining us and you're here, and so thank you so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. PJ, I've done one Wendy's order and never again. That is the consensus. Like my Wendy's is it's a hot mess. It literally has to be like a really good Wendy's order, and we all know what that means. But it has to be like a really good Wendy's order for me to take a Wendy's order because this is my thing with my Wendy's, and I know a couple of you guys have said the same thing. They're short staffed, which everybody here in our world, in restaurant world, is short staffed. But they require you to go into the dining room. Like they won't take you at the speaker. But you never know what day their dining room is closed because they're short staffed and they never put signs up. So you end up parking your car, you go to the door, you tug on the door and go, oh, they're closed. I have to go to the speaker. And you just wasted time by getting out of your car, going to the door, tugging on the door, getting back in your car, going to the speaker. Like they can't make up their mind. Are they open? Are they closed? Are they open? Are they closed? Like, and even when you go in, like my Wendy's isn't the nicest either. So they're like, oh, you're here for that order? Like, yeah, I am. Can you just give me my order, please? So I feel like I'm not making any friends in there anytime soon. And as you guys know, like I am a huge like believer in. I think there was a comment yesterday, or was it today? That someone says, "Do I know almost all my restaurants?" Yes, I know almost all my restaurants because I have the gift of gab. If you haven't known that by now, but I have literally the gift of gab, and I literally go into restaurants and I make friends with majority when I can of the restaurants that I go into. If I can't, they at least know my name by now. I mean, my face by now, just because I think I'm at 7,000 deliveries at this point. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, so they know me by face, if not. But yes, I try to make friends with almost every one of the restaurants I go into, especially if I frequent them often, because I truly believe that if you make friends with your restaurants, a couple of things, they might get, not all the times, but they might get your order out quicker because they see your name or they see you walk in the door, or they give you some inside information. And I'm working with, which reminds me, I have to circle back around. I'm working with a restaurant right now, and I'm really trying. They were trying to get permission from the owner of the restaurant to do this with me. They are part of my channel. They subscribe, so they watch my videos. And they want to do a video with me from the restaurant's perspective so we can actually see their tablets and their screens so you guys can see from a restaurant perspective what they see and what platforms they like better. And I thought that would be like a really cool video to do. So we actually get to know the restaurant's perspective because he watches my channel because he never knew from a driver's perspective what we go through. And now he understands why so many orders sit on his counter, which he never understood before. So it should be, I'm hoping that the owner allows him to do it because I think it would be like a really cool video to do just to get a different perspective on what we do. So yes, I really believe in making friends with the restaurants, but I'm trying to remember. I think it was Adam asked me this in a comment this past week. You know, I deliver. I should say I pick up from a downtown area where there's like no parking, and how do I deal with no parking? And a lot of the parking that I know about in my area is because I've made friends with restaurants and they tell me where their employees park. So I know a lot of hidden um, parking that a lot of people don't know about. And if I know I'm quicking about it, some of them are not so legal, but they kind of give me the inside information. If you're this amount of time or this amount of time, you can park here or there. Or they give you a lot of good inside information. So I am a big believer in knowing your restaurants and really building that relationship with them just because it goes such a long way. And last week, I think it was, um, I went into it was a Saturday, I think it was this past Saturday night. Like Five Guys was like packed, like so packed. And there were so many drivers waiting, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be really long. But I, yeah, Lisa, I will give you that info. But I'm like, this is gonna be a really long wait, but I have my normal girl who works the milkshake machine, and she also gets all the online orders. And the girl was there, and she saw me, and she goes, Kim, who are you here for? And I told her, and she got my order ready before everybody else's driver, and everybody else gave me like a really mean look because I was in and out, and they were still waiting. So I really believe that it really goes such a long way. So if that's one thing that I can say, like, make partnerships with your restaurant because it could make your life, I'm not saying every time, but it could make your life that much easier. Mm. Tammy L, thank you for your videos. I wish I was brave like you to tackle so many orders. I'm just nervous about doing DoorDash. So um, don't be nervous. Please don't be nervous. When I first started, and when I started just on DoorDash, and then I started branching out into Uber Eats and Grubhub. But when I first started doing DoorDash, I actually took my husband with me until like for a week until like I felt comfortable doing deliveries, and especially like the nighttime part of it. Like I was semi okay, but I'll be honest, like when I first started, like I had like a little anxiety going to houses that I didn't know, or am I at the right house? Am I not at the right house? And I felt like bringing my husband with me like eased my anxiety a little bit. So that was one thing that helped me. But I feel like if you start getting your deliveries under your belt, like first of all, start during the day, and just take it one delivery at a time, and until you get comfortable with it. I think it's going to make your life stressless instead of stressful. But once you get into a routine, it's not going to be as like this big mountain to climb. It's going to keep getting easier and easier and easier as you keep doing more more deliveries. It gets easier as you do more deliveries. So keep getting a little bit more under your belt, but don't be nervous. I promise it's going to be okay. You can do it. I promise. I promise you can do it. I have all the confidence in the world in you. Mm. Yes, Gig Lebowski is a positive man. And Gig Lebowski, congratulations, my friend, on your 500 subs. very well deserved, and wish you nothing but continued success and more subscribers. And man, you put out some great content, so congratulations, and keep the positivity coming as well. Kathy, the new collab with Kim and UGM is genius. A perfect mix of two bad, I won't say the bad word, gig multi-appers. Looking forward to each Monday. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am looking forward to Mondays too. Uh, I take all the straws from Burger King. I hardly ever do Burger King. Burger King is one of my blacklist fast food restaurants. Oh, that's the only thing I can say about Burger King. Oh, I used to actually have one like legitimately like 3 or 4 blocks away from me, and then they closed down, and now I have to go to like the other side of town in order to go to Burger King. And oh, they talk about not nice. They are not nice. Every time I go in there, oh, there's like literally a customer, like I swear, either yelling in their restaurant at the people working, or I've done their drive through late at night, and like there's someone yelling at somebody late at night too. Like I feel like there's always a fight between a customer and employee every time I walk in there, and I just don't want to be bothered. I'll be honest with you. So if I'm seeing that, can you imagine what the image of anybody else? I'm just saying. Oh, I am not a big fan of Burger King. Mhm. Will I get a straw if I'm at a casino in AC? You're funny. I don't know. That's a good point. I haven't, so I know a lot of you guys aren't from New Jersey, but we have Atlantic City, which is a casino area. I don't know whether everybody knows what Atlantic City is, but so yeah, we like and this is before my daughter was born. We would literally go to Atlantic City once a week on Wednesdays because it was our date night, and we would get comp rooms, like free room. You go gamble a little bit, you have a good night out, and you know, here comes my daughter, and Atlantic City goes bye bye. But it's interesting because they give you free alcohol drinks on the casino floor, but they always hand it to you with a straw. So I've never thought about that, but I haven't been to Atlantic City since pre COVID. So I don't even know what Atlantic City looks like these days, but I have to be honest, I'm missing it. It was like our go-to date night once a week, but I miss it. I miss it. That's a good point about straws. Is there a charge for straws? No, there's not a charge for straws. So this is a strange thing, and this is what I learned this past week. So the whole straw situation, they can hand them out if they are the recyclable, cardboard straws because they are eco-friendly. They can't just hand out plastic straws anymore. If you want a plastic straw, you have to ask for a straw. But some restaurants are taking it to the umpteenth degree and are taking the law as we're not handing you straws unless you ask for them. So that's where the tricky part comes in. But that's technically the law. Like and some companies haven't gone to the cardboard straws in my area yet, so they are just nope. You just don't get a straw unless you ask. So just very, very. I don't know. I just find the whole thing very strange. Thank you, Thomas. Welcome to Positive Kim's channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I keep it positive. That's me. Right, sure. That happened to me at Dunk, and it was only $5, so I just reassigned it. Yeah. I, hey, if the orders aren't right, and you first of all know your cancellation rates. That's the first thing because you can get deactivated. I'm just saying, just know where your rates are before you go canceling like every order because you can be deactivated for not the right number. So that's the only thing I'm saying. Just be careful. Always say make the right decision. This is the thing about multi-apping, being a delivery driver. Like you're your own boss and run your delivery like it's your own company. Make the right decisions. Like, and I'll always say this, I will never judge anybody for any order they take because it's the right decision that you made for you. If you want to take a $2.75 order, go for you. That's something that I personally would take, but if it's the right decision for you and your business, go ahead and take it. I'm not here to judge you, but I'm here to say that I personally wouldn't take it just because it's a no tip order. But always do what's right for you, including cancellations. But always say know where your rates are because you never want to fall behind that line. If you cancel too much, it could not be a good thing. Michelle, it's reverse at my Wendy's. You can only do drive through and you can expect to wait a minimum of 20 minutes. Oh, that's horrible. There's another Wendy's like two towns over from me. And sometimes if like I'm a little far away from home, like I'll get orders from from there. And I've done orders like maybe two or three times, but the way that it's set up is their line like wraps around, but if you get too far in their line, it blocks the people that have already come to orders and are wrapping around. And then it's like a gridlock because no one can get through. And like I feel like it was like the worst Wendy's like I've ever been through because no one knew what to do. Like people who got the orders can't get through, the people going to the line couldn't get through. It was just like mad chaos. So there are some not so good Wendy's out there. I've made some really good friends at quite a few restaurants, and all points you're making are very true. Thank you. But I can't, like, if you can spend the time, especially, I'm not saying if you're grabbing and going, but if you know you are waiting 5 minutes, 10 minutes for the order, like just strike up a conversation with them. And not only that, you might make someone's day just by being nice to them. You might make a new friend. You never know. DoorDash overly building a relationship with the renter owners are key to success. I'm telling you, it could either. So I've also, and this is another thing, like I've seen Dashers, Uber Eats drivers, just drivers in general, put it out there, who they're waiting and they're so mean to restaurants. Like I almost feel embarrassed for them and for the restaurant. I just remember there was one time where at a sushi restaurant I went to, it's a local sushi restaurant. They know me by name, and but they're notorious on a Friday, Saturday, and I usually stay away from them on the weekends because they're always like 20 minutes, 30 minutes behind, and I've had to learn the hard way. But there was this lady, and she was Gig Lebowski. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Gotta run, Kim. Thanks for being your positive vibes to everyone. Looking forward to your club with you. Oh, Gig, you're the best. Thank you so incredibly much. I really appreciate it. And have a good night. Um, so yeah, so this lady is like, before I even like walk in the door, and by the way, the restaurant is shut off still. They're only doing walk-ins, but they only have like this small like corridor that you can walk up to a window, tell them you're here, and walk out. So this lady is like yelling, like she's a driver, yelling at this lady, "You're taking too long. I should have left." Blah, 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 on and on and on. And the lady's like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, it's not ready, but I need you to move aside so I can take the other customers because there's a line waiting." So the lady finally moves and she is literally talking to every customer and every driver that walks up about what's going on. So I literally I walk up to the window and they're like, "Hey, Kim." I'm like, "Hey, how are you tonight?" And I said, "I know you're busy, but I'm here for, blank order." And at this point, it's the weekend. I knew better, but it was a $32 stacked order. It was part of a $32 stacked order. I'm like, I'm not missing out on this order. Like, I'll wait the 20 minutes for $32. Like, I'll wait. So I said, "Hey, I'm here." She goes, "Okay, give me a couple minutes." And she actually knows my car to the point where, like, if her order is ready, she'll like wave at me, like, "Your order is ready." So I'm in my car and I'm watching this lady. And I'll be honest, I videoed this lady, but I didn't put in the video because I didn't think it was fair to her because she doesn't know me. I didn't think it was fair to put it in the video. But she's literally going off on anybody who would listen to her. And she was getting like quite a crowd around her. And I'm like, whatever, I can't be bothered. And I just felt like saying to her, just freaking unassign your order. If you're that upset, just freaking unassign your order. Please, for the love of God, unassign your order. And literally, I waited 5 minutes and my order was ready. And I went and I got it and I was out. And the lady was so mad. But I'm like, peace, I'm out. But that like really goes to, like, to me, that like really goes to show you like partnerships are so, like, they're so important. You never know how important they are until you get into situations like that, and you're like, "Okay, that one totally paid off." Mm. William Lash, I like to order 1,000 pizzas to Thomas. Maybe I missed that in the comments. Sorry, guys. Monique, that would be great. The more we work with restaurants, yeah, it really, really, really is. Firm believer. Yes, Lisa, text me, call me when you come back again, and I will give you all the inside scoops to my area. Kimberly, my Panera is so much fun and on their game, the manager and I chat a lot, even offered me a job. Oh, that's so sweet. Hey, I'm not saying it's every Panera. It's the Panera by me. I haven't honestly experienced, it would be really naive of me to, lump all Paneras together. I'm just sharing you what I have personally gone through. But do I think every Panera is like that? Absolutely not. I think there are fantastic Paneras out there. I think lately my personal Panera has been so short staffed and the management always isn't on the ball. And I feel like they don't know how to manage their people that are there. So it's to me, it's a lot of mismanagement, in my opinion. So I feel like a lot of times people are like running in circles and nothing is getting done, and um, customers are getting frustrated and it's a really busy Panera. So I think it's interesting. I would love to. Do Panera have DMs? I don't even know whether Panera has DMs or not, but it's funny you should say that. So totally off topic. So I personally went into Chipotle last week to get myself and my family Chipotle. And it's the first time I had Chipotle in a year and a half. And I treated my family to Chipotle, but they weren't taking like their own online orders and they weren't doing DoorDash and um they weren't doing Uber. Like they turned off everything. So you actually had to walk in, and lo and behold, like you can tell like their DM was there, and I felt so bad. I felt so bad for them. Like he was like literally like hovering over the shoulders. You didn't say this. You didn't say that. You didn't say this. You have to say this exactly the way it is. And I just remember those days of like DM visits. But I feel like Panera. The whole point is I feel like Panera needs that little kick in the butt from their own DM to walk, if they have DMs, I don't even know, walk in the door. I don't, are they, see, I don't even know if they're independently owned, are they franchised? I don't even know how Panera works, to be honest with you, but they need a little kick in the butt in my area. Josh B, you good to the restaurant staff, your life will be much smoother. Agreed, Josh. Hi, Lucily Cruz. How are you? Welcome. So, once again, guys, if you are, I see a couple of new faces. So, welcome. I'm so excited. Everybody is here. So, thank you so much for being with me tonight. If you take a minute, give this live a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. It's right next to the thumbs up as well. And welcome those of you who are new. And thank you to my existing people who keep coming back. I really appreciate it. But it's really nice to see a lot of new faces and some existing faces. And, I am super responsive to everybody. I really try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. I respond to every one of your comments. If you guys see my comments, that it's literally me. I don't have anybody answering for me. It's me who responds. If you do not see so this is what's been happening lately though, guys. If you do not see a response from me, it's because for whatever reason, YouTube has been hiding comments or deleting comments, and I respond literally to every single comment. So if I do not respond to you, get back to me with another comment because it means that YouTube has deleted your comment for whatever reason, but it's been happening with a lot of content creators across the board. So please make sure if you don't hear me respond, that's the reason why you don't hear me respond. Josh, once you get the first delivery done, you will see it's not hard. Yeah, it's kind of repetitive. So the more deliveries, PJ, oh, thank you so much, my friend. You did a great job responding. Thank you so much, PJ. All right. Yeah, I feel like we're friends at this point, PJ. So thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support and all your comments. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. That's really funny, PJ. I still catch up from an undisclosed location. That's really, really funny. Can you tell me offline what establishment that is? I kind of want to know your inside scoop. Maria, you're from Puerto Rico. Well, welcome from Puerto Rico. That's really awesome. So thank you for joining us tonight. Me too. I'm a straw thief. Yeah, I think we're all straw thieves. I'm telling you, for a while, like pre-pandemic, I felt like I was like a pen thief, but not like on purpose. Like, like this is pre-pandemic when we actually still had to like sign things. Like, I feel like, especially when we were using a lot of the DoorDash red card, and like we're going back a little while. When when I first started, like a lot of places were still doing the red card, but like I felt like I was a pen thief because I felt like I always walked out with a pen, and like I had a car full of pens. So just FYI. Yeah, Five Guys is the worst. It is the worst smell. I'm telling you. So smells I've learned, and if you can do this, I recommend this. So this is just a tip from me, and hopefully it works. It might work in SUVs because you can't close a trunk. I don't have an SUV, but I personally keep my orders in the trunk because I don't like the smells getting into the car. And I personally always keep like the little tree car air fresheners, like in the trunk. I like put two or three in at a time, and like the smells never get into the car. So that's what I personally do. And then not only that, I have all my hot bags like lined up in the trunk. So that way, when I get to my trunk, I literally put my order in and I'm out. And once I get to the customer's house, I take it out of the car with my hot bag and I deliver. But it has really helped keep the smells out of my car. So just a tip that I've learned over the past like couple months, that being in the trunk has been like really key for me. Once again, I don't know whether it really works as well for SUVs just because you don't have a trunk to close, but if you do have a trunk to close, it really helps with the smells in your car. Mm. Tammy, so what's the reason behind the new straw law? I well, it's obviously to help the environment and to be eco-friendly, and it's obviously geared to help with the pollution and landfills because plastic straws are a big to do in our landfills. So I also have a lot of dumps, so to speak, around my area, which is a big thing in New Jersey. And even going into Staten Island. Staten Island has probably one of the big dumps in our area, but there are a lot of garbage dumps around, assuming that it is to reduce the footprint of plastic straws going into landfills. Thank you, Thomas, so much. Thanks for keeping us smile with positively. Thank you so much. I really super appreciate everybody. So thank you so much. Um, but yes, that's the whole thing behind plastic straws. Oh, Chipotle smells up my car pretty bad. Yeah, Chipotle. Yeah, I'm telling you, Chipotle does smell a little bit. Mm. I'm in Minnesota and haven't heard about it. I think it's like a New Jersey thing, but I think someone told me California adopted. I think it was California. If anybody here from California, you can correct me on this. But I think California and there's a couple other states who have adopted a law very similar to it. Hey, Claudia, how are you? Welcome. Thank you, Thomas. You keep us smiling. That's why I'm here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I've got one owner who calls me when he sees my name pop up on his tablet to let me the time he needs the order. That's awesome. That is so great you have that part. That's a really good thing that they call you. That's freaking awesome. I'd be taking an order from that restaurant every time it popped up just because of that. That's really awesome. Yes, nobody should put up with rudeness, period. Hey, But Soda, how are you? It's so dead today. So I today Tuesdays are my day off. I'll be honest, I took three orders today, and y'all see the video that I released tomorrow why I took three orders today. But I literally just took three orders today. That's it. Like I've learned Tuesdays in my area, it's not worth me going out. So I call Tuesdays like my family day, and I get like caught up on my running around, and I do my my lives with you guys. So kind of my Tuesdays, but I've learned that Wednesdays aren't that much better. Like I don't look too much forward to Wednesdays, but they've been picking up. My area in general has been picking up. I know I talked about DoorDash last week. DoorDash has been rocking it in my area last week. Like majority of my money last week came from DoorDash, which just it blows my mind. And then like I don't know what's going on with I really don't know what's going on with Uber Eats. Like I haven't been getting orders. I the orders that I've been getting are like $4, $5, $2. I got $1.50. Like there's some wacky things going on with Uber. It's not what it used to be in my area. So I don't know whether I have a flooded market with drivers right now. I don't know, but I'm really disappointed because Uber Eats, like months ago, like I was doing easily $1,000 on Uber Eats alone a week, and that was like my bread and butter. And I don't know what's going on with Uber Eats. I'm just saying. Let me know if you guys, what area are you in? I am in New Jersey. So I'm in like, I'll depends on where you live in New Jersey, what part of New Jersey they tell you I'm from. Technically, I'm Central Jersey, but like I'm closer to the Jersey Shore, so I'm probably about like 10, maybe 15 minutes away from the beach. So I really, I really like the area that I live in. Kimberly, it's just easier to be happy, bubbly, and friendly than miserable. I've been in a waitress my whole life. So, like you said kindness goes a long way. Uh, my hat's off to you for being a waitress, Kimberly. The service industry is not an easy industry to be in, but you know what? Kindness goes such a long way. Like it to me, it takes so much more energy to be angry and miserable than to be happy and personable and kind. Like I really always say kindness is always free. So, it goes so much longer. It gets you further in life in general than being negative and mean and rude. And I'm just saying. Mm. Oh, you're only on schedule until 10 o'clock. Don't let me interrupt your hustle. Go get your hustle on, my friend. Go get some money. But I'm so glad that you're here. So thank you. Hopefully, I'm keeping you company if you're in between orders right now. But so a great show with UDM and Kim. You're all gonna try to call in next time. So eventually we'll get to call-ins, I think, because the way from what UDM was telling me, the way that we're set up right now, we can't take live calls just because I go into his stream and then we go live. So eventually we will take phone calls, but it might be a little while before we do. But we will eventually start taking phone calls because I would love to hear from you guys. And I think it's a fun thing that UDM does, and I think it's special to his channel that he's really good at. So I'm really excited for that to come in the future. But as of right now, it's probably just going to be me and him talking it up on on Monday mornings. Michelle, hi, how are you? Your videos are enjoyable. I look forward to watching them. It motivates me to work. Thank you. Thank you. And I always say, you guys, you guys motivate every single day. You guys teach me just as much as I teach you, and I have fun learning from each other. That I really enjoy, especially on Tuesdays, getting together with you guys because I feel connected and I feel like you guys have to me. But once again, if you guys ever, hey, Gig Cleveland, how are you? If you ever need me, you guys can, my email is in my description. Also, I'm on Instagram under Kim Side Money Plans, and you can message me. And I messages almost instantly just because they pop up just like text messages. So those are the easiest ways also of getting a hold of me. But I am literally available to you guys if you guys need me. Mm. Ooh, Diane, 18 degrees. That's freaking cold. Hey, B. Cleveland. That's freaking cold. 18 degrees. Okay, so here it was 35, 38, 35 today. So now I feel bad complaining about the 30s, never long 18 degrees. Man, I'm telling you, some of you guys who are upstate or even out in the Midwest and deal with like this extreme cold weather, I feel for you. Yes, Claudia, it has been a long time, but I might not comment, but I do watch a lot of your lives on a replay. So thank you for coming today. But I do catch a lot of your lives on the replay, and thank you for coming and joining us today. Oh, Josh B today was really good for you. Good. Oh, right to Lisa. When I was in California this past year, I asked about straws, and they said it's for the beaches only so far. Interesting. Can you deliver alcohol in New Jersey? I wish we can do it in PA. I haven't gotten an alcohol delivery, to be honest with you, so I don't know whether New Jersey allows it or not, but I personally haven't gotten any alcohol deliveries, so I don't know that for 100% fact, but I might have to get back to you on that. No, Thomas, Kim, I hope your new shows on UDM on Mondays won't affect your Tuesday time. No, it absolutely won't. You guys get me every Tuesday night. I am here for you. I will be here at 8 o'clock every single Tuesday night. So you guys can come and join me. We can hang out. We have fun. So, yes, no, it will not affect our Tuesdays. Lisa, are you near Camden? No, I am not near Camden. I'm probably an hour away from Camden. Camden is more west, like towards Pennsylvania, and I'm more east towards like the Jersey Shore. Mm, mm. Oh, bye, PJ. I know you probably left already, but thank you for coming. Okay, Cleveland, good evening. The issue is going to be the shrinking profitable times, noticing slow down at night at 8, now before 10. Yeah, it has been getting slower. I always say my power hour used to be like 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., and now it is getting earlier. I think it has a lot to do with daylight savings. I think people are eating earlier instead of later just because it's dark outside. So, yeah, I've been noticing that in my area as well. Lisa, have you considered Instacart? So I have Instacart. I have I've had Instacart for over a year now. I have never done an Instacart order. I know I keep putting it off, and I keep saying to you guys that I will do Instacart. So this is my thing with Instacart, and I can't knock it because I haven't tried it. I personally, I hate grocery shopping for myself and my family. Never long going and grocery shopping for somebody else. And um, hey, Flower Lotus, how are you? So it just doesn't appeal to me, but I have it in my arsenal. I always say have as many gig apps in your arsenal as possible because you never know what's going to happen. It's always good to have that backup plan. And to me, Instacart is on my backup plan for right now. But I know a lot of you guys are wanting me to do an Instacart. So maybe in the near future, I might try to say that, hey guys, I tried Instacart, you're coming with me. But as of right now, I like my warm, cozy car and picking up food and delivering it. But that's just me and my own hangups with Instacart. And not only that, but I hear all of you guys and all the problems with substitutions and customers and problems. I don't know. Like I don't know. Uh, Oh, Gate Cleveland, 25 back here. Black ice got me the other day. Oh, I hope you're okay, Bud Soda. That happened to me last year. We had a really bad snowstorm, and I didn't see ice on stairs, and I actually fell and like whacked my knee pretty bad. I still have a little mark on my knee from it, but man, black ice is no joke. Mm, mm. Be careful, guys. Just be careful. Please be careful. It's so easy, especially with the snow, and please be careful. It's really easy to fall. And I know last year New Jersey got a lot of um but soda, I might take you up on that to become a strong shopper. I might take you up on that, my friends. I definitely will. You might be able to give me some really good tips. I don't know. Maybe it's my own hang up. Maybe you can teach me a better way. I don't know. But last year, whenever we got snow, I can't tell you, like I would go out, not hours, but literally like I would wait for like the snow and plows to come through and then I would go out because you can make really good money. You would be amazed how many people freaking ordered in the snow and then didn't shovel like 6+ inches off of their sidewalks and their walkways, and it was so super dangerous. There were many times I had to call the customer and said, hey, you need to come out and get your order because I am not tracking through your snow to get to your house. There was one time I wanted to like literally throw it at the door because I'm like they literally had a mound going over to get to their door. And I'm like I'm not doing it. Your food's going to be staying out here in the snow because you're not answering your phone. So I'm not doing it. But snow can be tricky. Mm. Is your Hyundai Accent the same size as an SUV? It looks like it. I've seen a Lancia Sonata, which are identical. No, it's not the same size as an SUV. It is very. I will say it's very economical. It's perfect for me for what I do. It's the smaller version. It goes Accent, Elantra, Sonata. I have a Sonata too, so I have a Sonata and an Accent. But I really like my Accent. I really say it's literally perfect for delivering and I really actually like it, but no, it's not big like an SUV. In New Jersey, I believe the major reason is also because of all the beach water. They affect sea life greatly. A lot. Oh, that's a really good point, Kathy. I never even thought about that. That it really is a big issue with sea life because I remember years ago there was a really big movement in New Jersey. You know the soda cans and like the plastic, the 6 pack of soda cans, the plastic that comes with it. Like there was a really big ban on them for a while in New Jersey because they were getting like wrapped around like duck snacks and sea life snacks, and it was really harming them. So there was a big movement. So that's a really good point, Kathy. I didn't even think about that. Besides my last nightmare beer order, I live for beer deliveries. I know a lot of people who live for alcohol deliveries. Um, there is another one of the subscribers who's out in California. It makes a killing on alcohol deliveries. Uh, Is it expensive to winterize your car? I did a oil change today. To me, it's just regular maintenance on your car. Hi, Brian V. How are you? I do a lot of like regular maintenance on my car, so I feel like it's always up kept and always, ready to go. So to me, no, I feel like it. Mm. Oh, but soda fell straight down on my truck. Didn't stand a chance. My tailbone. Oh, please be careful. Get well soon, my friend. I took a 1350 grow powder on the way home. Nice. Nicole Smith. I had to unassign a Five Guys order this evening because the restaurant never received the order. Oh, that's so super frustrating. That's happened to me a couple of times. And then sometimes DoorDash doesn't know what's going on. And then they're like, well, let me call the restaurant. And you're like, I swear I'm telling you the truth. You're going to waste my time in calling the restaurant and ends up being more. Um, Ryan V, will you work Christmas Eve? I will probably work until a certain point on Christmas Eve, but not past probably 4 or even 5 o'clock. Like, I am all about Christmas and spending time with my family, especially with my 4 year old. I feel like every Christmas she learns more and more and more about Santa and like the excitement and like reliving Christmas through a child's eyes is so much fun. So like I get a really big kick out of starting new traditions with her. So no, it's really going to be family time. Like I said, I might go out maybe early morning to maybe early afternoon and then calling it a day. And obviously I'm not working on Christmas either. Um, when you drive in the snow, don't you need to change tires? No, I've never changed tires in the snow. I drove all last year. Like I said, I don't. I'll go out in the beginning of a snowstorm when it's just starting and it hasn't gotten bad, or I'll go out like after things are plowed. I never really go out, you know, during like the middle of a snowstorm just because I want to stay safe. I always say, please stay safe. That's the utmost importance of everything. And I try to always stay safe. So no, I never change my tires. No. Mm. I delivered Instacart once on the curb because the customer didn't put salt down on the driveway and the steps. It's so super dangerous when customers don't do the proper diligence. My thing is like, how do you order food knowing your walkways aren't plowed, knowing your driveways aren't plowed? Like, how do you do that and like expect your delivery driver to deliver it to your doorstep? Like, to me, it's very selfish. I personally don't understand it. That's just me. Kathy was biting cold this morning. Not 9 degrees. I think you have everybody beat on that one. I look forward to working with you on making YouTube videos. Okay, so guys, um, I am ready to call it a night. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. I really appreciate it. I am so super excited to be with you guys here every Tuesday. So come back, enjoy it, and come and join me Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. Everybody, please stay safe out there. Please stay healthy out there. I'll say, remember, kindness is always free, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.